Alrighty. To get started. Alright, it says it should be streaming. Only one way to find out. uh, well, yes, I have the chat opened up on the side with a heart emoji. Hey, we are on. Yeah, look at your YouTube. Okay, cool. Well, I could look at that. There we go. Cool. Uh, I'm just gonna be messing around with the camera while talking to you guys while you guys are doing some art. People don't need to see this much of my face. I think it'll be a good time. Let me. This is a lot of us learning, which I love. Tube scene. See if you can. Oh, nice. It'd be worrying if you just got worse. You ever think about that? I get worried about that with my writing. It's like, am I getting better or am I getting worse? Or do I just think my writing always sucks? Let's move you guys around. I'm gonna do one with Anderson's screen a little bit bigger, and then one with Keith's scene a little bit bigger. God, why are you guys' panels so big? No, I'm just messing around with your guys' video camera right now. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so let me think about it. Yeah, I think it was Incredible Con where we actually first started talking to each other. Actually, no. The first time I ever met you was at my parents' basement. Not my actual parents' basement, but yeah. Yeah, that was it. Um, yeah, it was it was funny cuz I saw your comic the Fear Hunter ones and I did what everybody loves and you said I have like 4 issues. I'm like, "Cool. I'll buy the first 2." Uh, oh no. Uh-oh. Okay, so Keith can be heard. Let me see if I can add another one. Ooh. Cuz I can hear you. Yeah. Let's see. Who's messaging you? Special secret admirer. All right, let me fix that really quickly. All right. So, properties. No, cancel. Oh, I'm not. Oh. Okay. I mean, yeah. I definitely forgot to do that. Alrighty. All right. So do I pull it from Discord or do I pull it from OBS? Cool. Oop, okay. Hmm. Let's pretend I remember how to do this. Figure it out. Okay. Why isn't this working? Are you guys talking at all? No. It's mostly just for me so I don't accidentally delete anything. Let me see. Audio. That's not that one. Okay. Let me delete that. I love that this is all on your YouTube as well. This is my favorite thing. There we go. Let's try this. Nope. A lot of good singing going on, at least. Yeah. I don't know why I can't figure this out. Keith, how did we figure this out before? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. I have one right now. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. This, yeah. Because it has my microphones for that one, which I don't want to pick up any more of my voice. So let me see. Because right now I have you guys audio output captured. Let me try that one. Audio. Let's see. Discord. No. Won't let me pick up anything. Luckily, you can delete these YouTube videos afterwards. Nothing stays on the internet forever. I think Anderson and Carmen are doing or not diddles, doodles. Whoops. Yeah, they're doing doodles, and I'm trying to figure out how to get their voices on here so we can start asking each other questions. Um, Ika Jabal. Hey, thanks for asking. How's your night going? I hope it's going as good, if not better. Um, I know no one can hear Anderson and Keith, so I'm just going to tell you guys what they're saying. They're basically saying I'm their best friend. They look up to me, um, and it just it makes Anderson just shake his head how much he just loves me. And also, for some reason, Anderson really hates baseball, especially the Braves. Um, Keith's favorite color is white. He doesn't enjoy black at all. Not like in a racist way. um, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean, what are they gonna do? Cancel me? I'm not famous enough yet. All right, so how do I capture the audio from Discord? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't want to like Google it because that's gonna make me look even more incompetent. But uh, Susan, I would like to know if you're laughing at Keith or my jokes or just our incompetence. So I don't even know if she's watching because she hasn't commented, which really hurts my feelings. Da-da-da. Let's see. Yeah. I don't want to stop recording because this feels more authentic. Yeah. Yeah, because I. Oh, deaf Christian. Wow, Susan spelled my name wrong. I appreciate that Susan laughed at my joke, but. um, yeah, she says, wow, dude, with I think four O's, so it's not that bad, but still pretty bad. I'm just gonna transition really quickly so people could see what Anderson's drawing.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, hey, talk again, Keith.
You're thinking about it. You got it? Did you get it?
Uh,
Is it working?
maybe
Let me pull up the thing.
because I can see your guys' audio right now.
I assume it's there's a lag. But peekaboo. I'm just gonna keep on talking so that if once we get to this point, then they can hear that something is happening.
Can they hear?
We're yep, everybody's working.
Hey!
You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add your guys' voice to the other scenes.
Well, all right.
Come on!
You know, I'm learning.
Taking a voice away, taking our voice away, literally.
That's my fault. People just want to watch you draw. People want to hear me talk.
Oh, okay.
Voice is still like the one cutting through. It's probably because he's using an actual microphone. I'm using a stick, and you're using a little hole in your laptop screen where you've got an actual microphone.
I mean, Anderson's got an actual microphone. I think his, though, is still coming through Discord.
Christian Horchata.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to keep doing this.
Myself.
That was just to kind of... Whoa! It's scary. Dear heavens. Ah!
Thanks,
Big
Susan.
eyes. Yes, thank you, tech support team. So, anyways, as I was saying, but when no one could hear me, I was trying to recall when we met and we figured out in silence. I guess maybe they heard half the conversation if anyone was listening, but that Keith and I, Christian, it's gonna be a problem because in my head, you guys' names are so similar.
Weird.
Just because they both start with a K.
Just get
It
over
starts with C. He just spells it wrong.
it. No. He
Um,
spells his name wrong.
whatever. But anyways, yeah, met you guys at cons. Basically, that's the story.
The first time we actually talked together was at Incredible Con in Charleston.
Oh,
I think so. Because
I remember that being a bad show.
I did well. Granted, like,
Was it a bad show?
I don't know.
Maybe it was just like middling. I don't know.
Middling.
There was a
Middling to fair.
I thought it was a good show because I made enough money, but also
that was in Charleston. I was staying with people, so I didn't have too many expenses, which was nice.
And there was a wrestling show right next door, so.
Okay. Well, you know. Oh shoot! What am I doing?
And then I think I met Keith for the first time this year.
Christian, you need to bump up your audio a little bit.
I was trying to cut it down so I didn't cut into you guys.
Nah, like I said, Anderson's audio is coming through real hot, but it's not necessarily volume. It's just where he's at in the band.
Okay. Here, hang on.
His voice.
There we go.
My gain a bit so that I don't just blow
All right.
out.
Let me. Hello.
There we go. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I don't know.
Our voices are a little bit more similar.
Yeah. Got that monotone.
You have
voice.
yes, I have I get shrill every now and then. You guys have this resonance.
When you find a good song.
Honestly, you guys have this resonance that like when I listen to like a podcast in my car, like you guys' voices, I'm like, where is it? I can't hear it. Like, because it just like disappears into the rumble of the engine.
Anderson, your voice is my voice when I get excited.
Ah!
I just start going a little bit more shrill.
I just realized I made the crazy girlfriend face.
You're good at that.
Anyways, Christian, thanks for handling all that technical stuff.
Handling it's kind of a strong word. I wouldn't go.
I mean, you did. It's done now. I feel like you need to like reset in order to like start like questions or leading any sort of conversation or anything. So
yeah. I'm also trying to make sure that I can transition to videos where people will see you guys more.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Keith, do you remember the first time we met?
Yeah. We went and watched a baseball game.
We did. I had a good time with you guys.
Wait, that was
on the
in Asheville?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Greenville.
They were playing the Asheville team.
Yeah, we were in Greenville. And yeah, I think that the Asheville team won.
Yes, it was an upset.
Everyone was really upset. I remember one guy cursing at the umpire.
The best is when like you're getting that mad about a minor league game, right?
Yeah.
Like you're still a fan of your sport and you love your team and all that, but it's another. It makes me giggle whenever anybody gets upset about sports.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I get it as a wrestling fan. People get very into it, even though that is literally pre-planned. And that's also, I know, shocker. I will say, whenever I talk to other people about other sports and they're like, yeah, well, I was watching a Super Bowl. I'm like, they already know who's going to win, right? Everything's already pre-planned. It really pisses people off.
Yeah, I like this. I like this approach.
It's Good time. So, now that we're live, tell us what you're working on. Let's start with
Ladies
Anderson.
first.
Okay, never
Oh shoot, that backfired.
mind.
um, I am flatting some pages for a comic that Keith actually illustrated.
Nice.
So it's about Phantoma, who's a public domain character, but this is a specific version of the character. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is just file setup stuff. It's pretty zen, and I don't really have to think, so it's a good thing to do while streaming, while also kind of seeing some of the process. It's probably not the most exciting thing to watch flatting, so I might switch to drawing for a bit. But I can talk and do this pretty easily. So I'm just putting in blocks of color to pick out and change the color later.
We should draw something on a theme.
We should.
On a theme?
Yeah. Draw like the same kind of thing. Like, oh, let's both draw Juggernaut, or, maybe something I've drawn before.
Yeah. Keith can decide.
Maybe the host should.
I don't know. What would either of you guys draw?
Oh, you're over here trying to get free commissions?
What? No, of course not. Look, I already got commissions from both of you. Do I have to pay any more? I just get it for free now.
Ever Tim.
Now we're just buds.
You can see I'm drawing Elektra.
Are you drawing Elektra?
Clearly, don't you see her? Don't you see her? Don't you see her fun little hat?
Clearly.
I don't. Okay, yep. Now I see it.
There's her fun hat. Whoa! I got you.
Yeah, I was about to say, where's the sigh? There we go.
Hey.
Um.
And then she's got these lips, just for kissing on Daredevil. Come here, Matt.
Gosh.
Iki says that's Bowie.
That's Bowie.
I like that.
Wait. I can make him Bowie.
Yeah, just add a lightning bolt.
No, he needs an eye patch.
Ridiculous.
Do Bowie from the Labyrinth.
Glitter? Oh. And then,
Oh, are we just adding things to it?
Just
hold
just
on, we gotta
slowly making a monster.
make his little body. There's
Do
legs.
Bowie from Zoolander. Give him blue steel lips.
And Bowie and Zoolander is just Bowie.
Yeah.
90s hair. He's just
Exactly.
like,
He's
Bowie,
in I've never seen Zoolander.
oh.
It's a fun movie.
I have a big pocket of pop culture in comedy films that's just missing. Like, I just haven't seen most, like there aren't really that many comedies made anymore. But I haven't seen, like, most of, like, the classic comedies. Like, I saw a few Adam Sandlers back in that era, and they just kind of soured me towards comedies in general. And so I just kind of jumped off the boat of comedies and didn't watch many.
That's a rough thing to, like, I guess if that's your only exposure to comedy.
So, and like some of them, like Dumb and Dumber, like I've never seen that, but like that, like regardless of if you like it or not, that is like a classic comedy.
That's a good like they don't really make just comedy movies anymore. Like most of them have to be like action movies.
So it's like the Marvel movies, which are all quippy, or it's like a rom-com, so it's like it's another genre as well.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Do you guys watch any SNL skits recently?
Not recently. I mean, I used to be all over SNL, but
Once a week, my wife seems to pull up like a best of in Snapchat or something. I think it's pretty much only Weekend Update.
Oh.
Because that's the only thing I've ever like consistently enjoyed.
You guys need to watch the Please Don't Destroy parts of the videos. It's like these three guys who started on YouTube, like us. but like their skits are so funny. Like they had Bad Bunny on one of them, and he just wanted to remake a Shrek movie in space.
That who is that doesn't mean that's so Bad Bunny.
Yeah, you said a
Yeah.
lot of words there that I just don't know.
You don't know the rapper Bad Bunny?
No,
You guys are so uncultured.
I don't know what you mean.
No, I just have 2 kids.
Like, where would I have encountered that?
Did you watch Bullet Train? Oh. Do you listen to music?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that would be the only thing.
do you do you listen to music?
He's
Yes,
an
no.
actor now. He
Little
does
do you
music.
know that Keith's particular taste in music is exclusively bluegrass. So
Oh, like inside Llewyn Davis.
It's not
Yeah.
really bluegrass.
All right, I'm gonna take Keith off
I
the main
say-
screen.
I gotta
As
be
if,
right.
Oh
Anderson
crap!
was-
Now I gotta put him back. That hurt. I think it was pretty good.
What?
Anyways, Bad Bunny's great. He's a great rapper. Oh boy. Let me
That's incredible.
transition that out.
I don't even think this is in tune.
Are banjos ever in tune? Oh, keep getting cut out.
You playing All the Traffic now?
Yeah, it's really out of tune. I just didn't have time. I made a bluegrass joke, so I had to follow through.
You gotta play Boyz.
Yeah, I gotta tune it. That's horrendous.
He does play.
Hilarious.
I'm so sorry.
Keith, do you play an
apologize.
instrument?
I could go grab a banjo if you want.
I can go grab my harmonica. We'll make this
Are we
bluegrass.
just, wait. Are we gonna pivot into a bluegrass band? Someone get a jug.
Hmm.
I don't think you want 2 banjos. No.
Yeah, we'll do
Right.
2 banjos and a harmonica. It's a perfect band.
It's the perfect band.
It's
I
the
don't,
perfect
yeah,
band.
I don't see any problems with this plan at all.
I bet my banjo's in tune.
One way to find out.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Okay,
that's a line. That's a line. That guy. That's that line. I'm gonna stay on this side of it.
Go grab the banjo. Go grab the banjo. Iki wants you to do it
who's Iki?
on the comments.
Oh, hello, Iki. Is Iki in Europe? I think this is someone who's logged into some of my streams before.
Maybe
curious.
it's Iki Jabul. So
I think so.
okay. Well, they recently said Alvin, Youngblood, Hart, and Taj Mahal do a great song together, and they encourage Keith to grab a banjo. And then Iki says they got a harmonica and a jug. So I got a harmonica, Iki's got a jug, and then you two can get the guitar together.
Perfect. You
Anderson
guys,
doesn't have a guitar.
this is the start of a new wonderful thing. I don't know.
You know
I
what?
lost steam halfway through.
Maybe Iki can help us out too. We still need to figure out a name for.
Yes, we do. We do need to decide on a name. Keith, can you give us some of the names? I want to hear the names that your was it your dad or your grandfather suggested?
My dad.
Okay, there were some of those that were particularly fantastic.
Oh yeah, they were funny.
The one that started with Dan was the best.
Yeah. Dan something was great. Let me get to that again. Oh.
I don't know if it's coming through this way to everyone else, but Keith is sounding kind of quiet. I don't know if it's just because you're sitting back from your mic, but
I got it.
He's mostly just a quiet man.
I'm a quiet man. Okay.
It's the
we
strong silent type.
Um. Where is it?
Where is it? See, it's hard to think and talk at the same time.
It is very hard. Christian, ask me a question.
Hey, Anderson, what have you read recently that you enjoyed?
Ooh, I read the first half of Southern Bastards. I just finished it.
Ooh,
The
that's
first
a
half, that
good
is.
one.
I was really upset because I've been wanting to read the series for a long time, and I was in a
Mm-hmm.
bookstore and I found book one, which is the first eight
Yep.
issues, and it's really pretty. It's upstairs, so I won't run and get it right now. But um, it's packaged. The production design is just chef's
Yeah.
kiss. Um, but I wanted to get book two in the same like hardcover, but I wanted to make sure that it was available somewhere so I could find it.
Yeah.
It was getting like paperback of volume three and volume four to go with my book one.
Yeah.
So I looked online to see, and they said that they had it, like that it was a
Available.
thing that came out in 2022, and I was like, oh, perfect. So I got this one, but it turns out that it never was released in 20. The book two was never released in 2022. I don't know why or whatever, but I
Did
know
they
that there
ever
was some sort of
did they ever
what?
finish Southern Bastards?
Well, that's the other thing that I'm not quite sure. I know that they finished that arc.
Yeah.
Uh,
It left on a cliffhanger because I remember reading it and I loved it.
yeah, I mean, I'm reading it specifically because it's another sports comic,
Mm-hmm.
but it is very tangentially sports. Like football is very much like a centerpiece of the story,
It's a
but it's not
cult in
like
that movie.
it's not about football. It's
Yeah.
like you could replace football with many other things, and the story still works. Um,
American football?
Yeah.
American football, yes.
It
Um,
takes place
the
in like
the only
Alabama.
yeah. So yeah, I was just loving it. The art is beautiful. The storytelling's great. There's this flashback, and the whole flashback is like these hyper saturated. I mean, the whole book is pretty hyper saturated reds. Um, but the
And
flashback particularly, it's even more red and all this. And
I remember reading it. It felt like a redneck version of God. Who's the guy who wrote The Departed or directed The Departed?
oh, Scorsese.
Scorsese, because it feels like a very much like a crime story.
Oh yeah, heavily. Um, so I mean, it's super rad. I've really been enjoying it. So I guess at this point I'll probably just get volumes three and four because I am really curious what happens in the rest of it. But for the purposes of what I was looking into it for, like research on telling sports stuff, I actually did learn some stuff that I think will be helpful. Um,
Yeah.
in terms of how the market might accept a sports centric story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, his Jason Latour's art is just crazy because it's so loose and caricatured,
Mm-hmm.
but you can recognize the characters every single time. But like, he'll draw someone's nose, he'll draw someone's face, and it's just like, here's a face, here's eyes, and a nose, and then like a sneer,
Have
like
you
some
ever
extra
seen
lines.
Kyle Stark stuff?
In passing, I haven't really studied it in the same way.
That's pretty much the exact same way. Because like the thing I always notice is how like weird the nose looks, and it always looks like that.
Yeah, it's stuff like this that's just like, but what I love about it is the like the character behind it. Like
Mm-hmm.
and then like, everybody will still have this one guy has this crazy nose that's like it's like a Doonesbury nose. Like it sticks out like this, and then he's got like a band-aid across his nose the whole story. He's got this weird sneer.
Like Nelly?
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
he does a
yeah,
really good
I
job.
just love I love his caricaturing. It's really sick. And I want to be able to work like looser like that, because then I think I can actually like make more stuff. Because right now I'm like tied down with like I have to pour so much detail into stuff
Hmm.
when, and this is something I've heard other artists talk about, like when reading a comic, you spend like 5 seconds on a panel, like the amount of time that you actually look at it and go, look at this or whatever.
Yeah.
As long as it's like it feels like as long as you can feel the energy, that's what people actually care about. Like
Yeah.
that's what's gonna sell it. Um, and you can get that with fewer lines, probably. So
Nice.
don't waste your energy is kind of the idea.
I disagree. I feel like artists should just spend more time on it all the time.
I can't. I can't. You gave that so deadpan. I really can't tell. No, but seriously, with that. Well, one thing that I will say, I want to hear more about this. One thing I will say is I believe in contrast as like one of the most useful tools that an artist can use in storytelling. So if you have like an action sequence, like having quick, low detail, hyper energetic drawings, and like over the course of like 5-6 pages, and then you have like a really heartfelt moment where you want to slow the pacing down,
Yeah.
pouring all of your energy into making those pages super detailed, because the more detail, then someone's going to sit and be like, oh, I want to like recline in the space that this drawing's making, and I want to sit here because there's so much going on. But in the other scenes where it's hyper energetic, you're like, oh, I just gotta move on because I'm like, I've taken in all the information. There's nothing going so fast.
Yeah. It's
So
it's unfortunate. Like every page is important, but there are certain pages that I feel like you have to be smart on which, like how long you take on them.
yes.
So
And I mean, I haven't sat down and read the whole of Alex Ross's Kingdom Come,
yeah.
but just in theory, I don't think it doesn't seem like it's a good comic. Like it's something, it feels like something different in the sense that everything is so hyper rendered out. But then like something like Black Sad, I feel like works a little bit better because he takes shortcuts in those moments. Like
Yeah.
where it doesn't feel as it's a different kind of rendered out and like
Do you feel like every
high.
page is so good it dilutes like the really good pages?
Yeah, because there's like no like I'm saying, there's no contrast. There's nothing that's like,
What about with Alex Ross stuff?
yeah, with Alex Ross stuff. And I mean, super talented. I think he's, you know, an incredible artist. All that saying. I'm just saying about I wouldn't necessarily pick him for a I'm trying to think of like just a fight sequence in general, right?
Yeah.
He seems more like just big. Like he seems like the perfect cover artist, right? Because he's gonna do something super rendered that's gonna draw your eye and be like, I want to see this.
Probably do whatever you wanted. To
Well,
be honest,
did you read
do
the
that,
his
but if he wanted to, he
Yeah.
could just roll it with something much less realistic and more stylized.
Well, that was like the
Yeah, like I
Fantastic
said, I
Four
really
book.
need to sit down and read Kingdom Come and make like an actual informed decision about this. This is a very this is a hot take, if you will.
It's just you looking from
So
afar.
when
saying,
Alex Ross inevitably sees this because it goes viral and like
yeah,
he's like, oh no, this 30-year-old hates me. No, Alex Ross, I don't hate you. I just
I'm actually writing the article right now. Artist Anderson Carmen hates Alex Ross art.
slams Alex Ross.
It does kind of feel.
I'm
like
really punching down, aren't I?
as the Alex Ross fanboy in this conversation. So I'll go ahead and be on record saying I don't really like his stuff.
Okay.
I think it might be because of oversaturation when I was a little kid and whatnot,
Hmm.
and all of the faces seem to have the same model and that kind of thing, but
Yeah.
which I think are him. But yeah, I never really liked his stuff. I appreciate it, but I don't care.
His he his art's really good. I have no
Yeah,
room to talk. That's all I'm gonna say for that part.
yeah.
Kingdom Come, I think, is his best story. All the other ones, I don't really remember.
Oh,
Okay.
So that's how I would say that.
yeah, that's
Anyway, so that's the answer to your question. What am I reading right now?
I still think if he wanted to, he could wipe the floor doing something really interesting that I would be into. He just chooses to do the colored pencil, you know, rendery stuff. Which
Yeah.
I'm
is just
trying to think of what I would put him in. Like, what do I think the ideal story for him would be? And I think it would need to be something very like angelic and like ethereal.
Superman.
Yeah, but
Did you guys read
um
his Fantastic Four book?
no, but that cover did look sick as.
So
Like,
it
see,
was,
that's the thing is I saw the cover and I was like, that cover is very pretty.
yeah. I saw his thing. I saw his book in my library, and I picked it up, and it is beautiful all the way through.
Okay.
I could not tell you what the story was.
Did you read the
I feel
story? Or did
like
you just flip it?
I just look at the pictures. I don't really read comics.
Normal? I don't know if you
yeah,
did
yeah,
yours or not. I know that's how some people read them.
No,
They'll
yeah.
of course
go
I
through
read it.
pictures, and if they like it, then they'll read it.
No, I read the comics.
I
How long does it take you to read a comic? Because you were talking about like fast art versus not fast art and all that stuff, and it feels like no matter what, it takes me forever to read through a comic because of how slowly, because of looking at the art. I think.
I would like to say to start off with that I was joking about artists taking more time, like they needed to.
Well, I'm
But yeah,
specifically
okay.
just talking about what Anderson was saying. Like you can specifically create something intentionally to make it a fast read.
yeah.
But I feel like even when they try to do that, I still read it slowly because of the way I read things because I'm looking at the art and I'm probably not the intended audience. But it takes me
Um,
like an hour to read an issue.
I I just know that I'm gonna read it multiple times. So I usually go through the first time just like trying to get the word balloons. Like I'm just gonna kind of take it in and just like take the story at a clip,
yeah.
and then even during that first run, I might go, oh, you know what? I'm gonna slow down for a bit and like really take in this page because this is really pretty, or I'll note something.
Yeah, I
Not
would
like on a literal
say
notepad.
like depending on how long the issue is, like a regular floppy comic, I would take about 10 to 15 minutes for just because I only have so much time in the day and I want to appreciate the art and the words at the same time. So I think that's also because I make comics, so I'm like, well, I know how hard everyone worked on this. And I don't want them to like suddenly come up and like, "Hey, why didn't you spend more time on that panel? It took me forever." I'm like, "Oh god, I'm so sorry.
So sorry. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, Mr. Alex Ross. I like your art."
Not like these schlubs.
Um yeah, like a single issue will take me about 10, 15 minutes, I would say. And then I used to like in high school and then beginning of college, I would read them in no problem. Like really fast. But then I realized I wasn't fully paying attention to it.
So for most manga, I read that really fast.
Yeah.
But I think that is a little bit has to do with the cheapness of the art generally.
Yeah,
Um
it does depend on why I got it. Did I get it for the story or did I get it for the art? Because there
yeah.
are some comics I get that I'm like, I actually don't care about the story, and I probably am never going to read this. I'm just going to look at the art because I'm like referencing this artist or
I have two artist editions, like the big books,
yeah.
the raw scans sitting
Ooh.
like that I own, sitting right next to me. I've never read the comics in them. Even though
But
I pull books out constantly, I've
Which
never
ones
read
are they?
issues. It's the Somni Daredevil one and the
That's
Mignola Hellboy and Hell one. And the only reason I haven't read the Hellboy and Hell one isn't um, just the Mignola. It's just I haven't gotten there in the comic.
Yeah.
it's a long series for Hellboy. Like I got the omnibus, and I'm only 2 volumes into it, and yeah, the Hellboy in Hell is like the 4th volume. Um,
Hellboy is the Hellboy universe is probably it might be the only like established IP that I would really love to work on.
Sure.
I
I'd love to
will
do a
say
BPRD story.
in the comments too, a gentleman named Luke Sparrow. I assumed he's a gentleman. That's on me.
Uh, that's friend of the channel.
Oh, friend of the channels, Luke Sparrow. Thanks.
Channel.
He said the Fantastic Four book this year worked a lot better for him than Kingdom Come. I disagree with Luke Sparrow, so I don't know if he's a friend of the channel anymore.
No, bad, non-friend. Friend
Yeah.
card revoked. No.
What else?
No, I'd love to hear why.
Yeah, if he's
And
still
then,
watching, I'm in a little bit.
Show your work.
let's see.
But
Iki actually says Tradmore does ridiculous work with fight scenes, the strange talent of
Yes, he
Luther
does.
Strode, and the two
Yes.
arcs that follow. He also does a killer job with Silver Surfer Black, which is my favorite. Yeah, I would say that's my favorite book by him, besides the Ghost Rider one that he did.
Now, see, the Ghost Rider one is interesting because I feel like with that one he went into way more detail, and it doesn't have the same speed as the other ones do.
So
Luther Strode Volume 2 probably has the most speed because it's like it's a lot scratchier,
yeah.
his rendering. And then like Silver Surfer, he goes into like this abstracting of figures that's really interesting when they're like moving fast. But there's something to me about the Ghost Rider where there's almost too much detail, but it slows it down and like everything feels like it's in slow-mo in a really good way.
So the thing
And
that
I'm a Tradmore stan, so
the thing I liked about the Ghost Rider though is that the more detail he added on it, it felt like a Hispanic comic, even though he's not Hispanic at all. I'm pretty sure he's not even human. It looks like art piece that you would see on the Day of the Dead.
You know, that's interesting. Yeah, because like and I kind of feel like that's something that he carried from that project into his future work, because he had a book after that called the New World, and there's like a ton of graffiti in this one panel that's just like, why? Like it's literally one panel and there's just an insane amount of graffiti, and it's like, because I'm gonna make this thing the most incredible that it can be.
Yeah. Keith, I haven't asked you. Any recent comics or books that you really enjoyed reading? As you think there, blinking your eyes.
Yeah, I was trying to think through what I'd picked up recently. I went to the library recently and I got a bunch of stuff. I read the first 4 issues of the Ice Cream Man. Didn't like it.
No?
I think.
Why didn't you like it?
I don't want to sit here dissing things.
Well, I mean, just like
it had gotten built up a little bit, and maybe I was expecting.
I will say this channel is nothing but dissing people. I don't know if you heard like the first.
Yeah, we need to work on this.
Well,
what I'm trying to get at is, I mean, there's a difference between like just trashing stuff, like you're trashing it, and having taste. And not taste. Oh my god, not taste like I actually have taste and you don't, but like preference, right? That's why I was asking like why. I'm just trying to see like, was it an art thing or a story thing? Because I mean, broad strokes. This is where you need to, carry the boats for us, Christian. I think broadly, most comic stories disappoint me. Like the majority of the stories disappoint me. And there's a ton of times that I'll just buy a comic because I like the art, and the story I'm like, I'll just shrug my shoulders at. There are definitely several comics that I have that I'm like, heartstrings, this is really good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to judge that too. Mostly because, like, I don't know. Sometimes the stories can feel too self-indulgent to the writers.
Hmm.
Like I was reading I love Vault, like most of their books, but there is a few books in there where I'm like, there's just a lot of like, here's the inner monologue or the overhead talking, explaining what's going on, or just like the story is one thing, and then you have the inner monologue, which is talking about something totally different.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, does it need this? What am I getting out of this? So,
What is this? What are we doing?
I think I also fall into that common trap of not even reading a lot of comics in general.
Hmm.
I reread a lot of stuff. I tend to find things that I like a lot, and then I keep coming back to them and just deconstructing them and just replaying them, I guess. And I tend to go
yeah.
to back older stuff. Like I don't read a lot of newer things either. Like when I'm buying stuff, it's probably 20 or 30 years old.
I will say any of the like new books that I've been reading, I have to like really love, and I've been starting to like I have one book that I made prologue, which is just the inner monologue part, and
Prologue?
after that, yeah, that one. I'm gonna mute Keith. No, but like I did inner monologue for it, and I don't really enjoy it.
Don't like having an overlaid like text.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
So
If it feels like extra work to like, hey, let me explain the story more because I couldn't do it in through the art.
well,
Hmm.
except that's I see a lot of comics that seem like they're trying to be like movies or TV or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely, when I was first like trying to write my own stuff, was doing that. Was
Yeah.
everything was either dialogue or pictures, but like comics is a weird medium. It's unique, and that's one of the things that you can do is thought bubbles
Yeah.
and narrative boxes and all that. And I don't think that it should be considered so gauche to have a narrative box or a thought bubble. You never see thought bubbles.
Yeah, there's a time and place for it, but if it's like in 90% of the book, I just
Mhm.
feel like they
Hmm.
wasted what they could say with the art or with the characters talking to each other.
You just make it something unrelated to the art.
Oh,
Meaning where you can tell more than one story at once.
is I don't know. I
Where
feel
you
like
can have art telling its story and then this overlay that's telling a different story, but together they're telling a third story.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Like contrasting the like
what's a
uh
good story that you've seen do that?
I can think of one. Let me find it so I can read it out. There's a scene in Watchmen that does
I
this.
was about to say there's certainly something in Watchmen that does that.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously
I'm
Watchmen.
gonna I'm gonna find it real quick.
That's
Is there one like recently that you really thought like, hey, they did this really well? I know Watchmen's a prime example, but everybody takes things from Watchmen.
Um,
and I just said that I and
You know what? I'm gonna bash Alan Moore. You guys are gonna bash Alex Ross.
don't no. He's a warlock. We will all get turned into goats.
No, I've actually told a bunch of people that I love I love a lot of Alan Moore stuff, but
Mhm.
sometimes it feels too smart for me.
I think that's the
You're
fun
like,
stuff.
ah, man, I'm not smart
So
enough for
you were
this.
talking about like stuff we had read recently or whatever, but right now I'm reading a book called The Night by Gene Wolfe. I don't know how much you guys read like normal books.
You're reading that too?
What?
I'm reading that right now.
The Knight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm at the part where he's gotten his weird not sword and he's on a boat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a couple chapters ahead of you.
Yeah. Now hold up.
I'm 100
Why
You're gonna
chapters
meet
behind.
Kulila
Wait a second. Why are you reading it?
Tradmore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
He recommended it on a podcast, so I was like, all right, I'll give it a
Oh.
give it a
Okay.
go.
So, but Gene Wolfe is probably my favorite writer
Okay.
in the way that, and in reading The Night, it's like probably the most accessible thing I've read of his. But a lot of his stuff, you're reading it, and I think you could come at it and feel like this person is writing in a way where they don't know what they're doing, and it's just stuff is just happening, and it's a little bit too dense and self-indulgent. But it opens up, and suddenly you're like, oh, this guy's doing stuff, and he's messing with me, and he's playing games, and he knows what he's doing. He's like, these aren't mistakes. He'll have like in some of his books, he'll have unreliable narrators who are telling you, like his most famous thing is it's 4 books called the Book of the New Sun.
Yeah,
And
this is the first work by him that I've read.
okay, I actually think that it's a like it doesn't seem like a bad place to start because I was talking to Van Jensen, and I got he's actually read it a few weeks ago because I said, hey, like we should check this out, and he said, what should I start with? And I said, I honestly don't know where to tell you to start. I have no idea. Like his short stuff is pretty easy to read, but his most famous stuff is a little bit annoying to get into. It took me 3 tries to read those 4 books. So
That's
it's
how
4 books that I read the first one, and then I got distracted. Then I came back around and I read the first one. Then the second one got distracted, came back around. Then I read all of them. So I've read the first one 3 times, and then this one twice, and then the last 2 once. But it has an unreliable narrator who starts off telling you that he has a perfect memory.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ooh.
it's first person, and he's telling you, I have a perfect memory. I can regurgitate everything in my life because I have this freakish brain that can just hold on to everything that goes in and out of it. And then he clearly does not. Tells you he does, but you're reading, and he's constantly just making little snafus and little mistakes that you could read as the author making mistakes. But then you get to a point where you understand, like, nah, he's doing this on purpose. It's for like various different effects, and it's really good, but really hard to just recommend to anybody.
Yeah.
Go
But
ahead.
yeah,
Recommend it to me.
well, I would recommend. Yeah, you get into that Gene Wolfe stuff. He's dead, so there's only so much of it.
Oh, it's like Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, like Terry Pratchett.
I
Like
started
Terry
reading
Pratchett.
his.
Yeah, you should.
I started reading his stuff. I'm like, wow, I want to meet this guy. I was like, oh,
He seems like
crap.
that guy. Yeah, I've gotten like 8 or 9 of his books under my belt. Yeah, I like his stuff. I like the heart of his stuff. I don't know
think
if
you
you've
would prefer
ever.
to keep it on your shelf than under your belt.
I read everything on my Kindle. I don't know how you feel about physical stuff, but I stopped.
I have a hard time reading on a like a Kindle or a device just because I prefer having the pages and just like
Huh?
turning it. It's not very economical or conducive to space.
I'm both.
Yeah.
I think digital is great if you can if you just don't have shelf space and you don't want to take up that much physical space. Also, it's easier to read sometimes.
I
But
also usually do audiobooks
Yeah.
specifically for
because I can
comics.
do it while I work.
But my problem with audiobooks is that I only listen to dumb stuff. I listen
What do you
to a few like alien books.
Like Ridley
Like,
Scott Alien or just like
yeah,
sci-fi?
yeah, like
Okay.
modern, not novelizations of films, but just like books that people were writing,
Yeah.
and they're super dumb, but
It's
they're
just
easy for me
popcorn.
to hear and listen to. Um,
Really quickly too on the chat, Iki asked a while ago. Sorry, Iki. Have any of you had the pleasure of reading the oversized version of Silver Surfer Black?
Yes,
Which
I have the treasury version.
I have
I just
that.
ordered the same for the Doctor Strange. I just got to go pick it up from my comic shop.
Yep. I have one too. It's behind me. It's like right there. Ta-da!
what's that?
I love it. We're still talking about Silver Surfer Black.
My dog was whining.
Oh.
Okay, well, we are a little over an hour, not of actually streaming because of the technical things, but I think we should try to figure out a name.
How do you like my tree?
It's a nice setting. Is that on a wall or a sheet behind you?
It's a,
Don't ruin the illusion.
it's a wall.
That you could touch.
It's a lot further away than we thought.
Also, really quickly, Cameron Paletti said, "Look at these cool kids."
Oh yeah,
Oh, hey, cool kid.
That was
Oh,
a
that's-
while ago.
that's my.
We know that
co-writer.
kid.
You,
I mean,
oh yeah, he was. I could ask yet. That's not a stream talk conversation. Just need to know where you're at with colors or how you're feeling about it.
oh yeah, we can talk.
cool. All right.
It's a work
Name wise,
conversation.
if anybody has any
Yes.
like name ideas, please shoot it. I was attempted to call this Beef Boys.
Oh, I
Beef
thought you were playing
boys.
boys.
Is that because we're gonna start beefs, or
I just like
Like-
the name of it.
What if we bring on somebody of the fairer gender?
I mean, it'll be like boys with a Z, so I feel it's like how I call everyone dude.
Yeah, I mean that's how I speak. I feel weird about it because I speak in extremely masculine pronouns all the time, especially like to my wife. I call her dude and guy.
Yeah.
I never call her girl.
I did the same thing with
Call her
Coretta.
lady. But if I do call someone girl, it's a guy, and I feel weird about that.
what?
Hmm.
Like when? Like if?
Like, I would never, what's up, girl?
Oh
just-
yeah, we do that to each. I was about to say we do that to each other all the time.
Right. But I don't say that.
That is kind of funny. Well, I have a different problem because I've got 2 kids, so I call my wife mommy, but like because that's what people in the house say. It's not like in that way, but just like be like, hey mom, can you like? It's because that's a name that she responds to.
Mommy, can you put on your big boots?
Yeah, and she does, and that's how we get stuff done. So
God.
Work.
Oh my God. Brendan
I
Boyd
know that you
said,
wanted.
"Hey,
I know
fellas."
that you really wanted to know that. So go ahead.
Brendan Boyd said, "Hey, fellas."
Oh hey,
When did that happen?
Just now. I'm keeping up with the chat now. I'm doing better at this.
Oh okay.
God, being
that's
an
what you
artist
think.
must be so easy. Got to do so much.
Yeah, generally too distracted to draw, especially when you ask me to think or talk aloud about books.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this.
You got really excited talking about that Glenn Wolfe book.
Gene
Wolf.
Gene,
Oh my
You-
God.
oh.
Sure.
Also-
Whatever.
for part of the engineering of the machine that makes Pringles.
What?
I'm being serious. That's an actual. He was an engineer, and he
I
was
love
the
that.
editor for a factory manufacturing
The Pringle Pals. Is that a good name
Engineering.
for us?
journal.
Pringle
Pringle
pals?
Pringle Pals?
Pringle Pals.
All right, let me start like shooting off some ideas. I'm gonna go through our group chat.
Oh,
Shockingly,
but
we
Chris,
have one.
if you want me to recommend one of his books to you, I mean, you could start with the most famous thing. The first book is called Shadow of the Torturer. It's it's weird, and you'll start it if you don't look up anything about it. You'll start it, and you'll think it's one thing in one particular setting, just because of the way language works, but it's very different, and it unfolds in a way that's makes your head go, "Whoa, okay,
Yeah,
this this isn't what I thought was going on."
I,
Um,
I would like those recommendations. I probably won't read them like right now.
we're talking.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be a little rude.
There's
It's
another
just like, hang on.
Let me read this chapter.
there's another one called The Sorcerer's House that is pretty accessible, like the night so far.
I'm a
And
sucker for fantasy books.
it's well, it takes place in like the 1960s, like
I
in
mean
a
that's
real
fantasy
town.
Oh,
time for me.
boy.
That's before I was born.
Well, I was just saying, it's not like Wizards and Dragons fantasy. It is a fantasy book, but and it feels like you read it and it seems like it's very straightforward in what the story is, but there's a lot going on between the lines, and that's interesting.
I'm interested. Color me interested. That's
I just like
another name for the pod or this video. Color me interested. Because you're
color
doing
me.
coloring.
I don't color. This guy colors. Where am I at? Oh, I'm on the left-hand side of the screen, right?
Yeah.
So I need to be pointing this way.
Other way.
You got me flipped?
Yeah. Well, no, that's how you look on the Discord.
Yeah, you just flipped on Discord. You're not actually flipped. Right?
Yeah, that's spelled correctly.
Okay.
I'm flipped.
I had to write my name backwards the other day because I did a mural on glass, and so I was signing it at the bottom, and so I had to spell my name but write it backwards so that because I was doing the whole mural on the interior, so that on the
Piece of
exterior
paper
you
was
could see
that?
it.
I saw
And
that, and it was
it
really
took
good.
thank you. It took so long to like figure out. Like I just eventually wrote it out and like turned the paper around, but
Yeah.
it took a stupid amount of time for me to be like, is this right?
And the computer just sorted it out and printed on that many sheets of paper in a grid.
Yeah. So in Adobe Acrobat, you can pick poster, and
Gotcha.
you can blow something up like in scale. So it printed on, I think it was like 200 sheets of paper, but a lot of them were blank. Like you saw some of the, I don't know if I showed any of the process shots, but a lot of it wasn't actually printed out. So there were a lot of blank pages.
Before I go into our suggestions, I just want to read off the ones Iki sent for the
Oh,
name.
good.
Deep Fried Comics.
Deep.
I don't know if that was a fat joke, but I love it. Three Men in an Art Show.
That's okay.
And then we have the
Wait,
headband, the hat, and the hair.
Are you guys that reference?
What's that?
The three men and a thing.
And an art show? Yeah. Three Men and a Baby?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or three men and a little lady.
I mean, it could be a bigger lady. I feel like we're not that big.
No, I mean the sequel, Three Men and a Little Lady.
Oh, I've never. Did they make a sequel?
Yeah, Three Men and a Little Lady.
Oh, the more you learn on this. See, this podcast or this video has just been so like I'm learning a lot.
I just feel like a little know-it-all.
I mean, honestly, this is the one that's piquing my interest right now.
Deep Fried
It's kind of-
Comics.
There's kind of no reason for it.
I mean, we're in the South.
Yeah,
We deep fry everything.
that's about it. I am giving hard Deep South vibes right now. I
Dirty
did just
South.
read a book called Southern Bastards, but
Yeah. I mean, I read read a comic called
And I was
Heck.
playing the banjo. That's probably it. Sorry, what'd you say?
I read a comic called Heck, so that's pretty
Oh, okay.
south.
I say
Yeah, Christian, what have you been reading? Then we should probably wrap this up.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Yeah, I'll just talk about Heck because I love it. It's by Xander Cannon.
Oh, he just added me on Instagram.
He's
Like
awesome.
today.
Name drop.
But yeah, I talked to him at Heroes Con, and his book is just so like, it's so minimal with like the art or what feels like. It's kind of like what you were talking about with Jason Latour.
Yeah? I gotta look this up.
Like this is what his art looks like.
Okay.
So,
I
and
feel like I've read a different book of this guy's. What
he
else
did
has he done?
Kaiju Max.
Okay.
I think that's his probably most popular one. I read a little bit of it. I liked it, but I didn't.
Okay.
It wasn't like my favorite thing in the world. This one I
That's
just
a good one.
love because it's literally about a guy who goes through hell and like dealing with like each layer.
Excuse me. Heck.
Heck.
No, his name
know
is Hector, and so people call him Heck for short.
Heck. Oh.
There's the joke. Classic.
And I love
Yeah, I
that.
never thought. Because I
Very
know
cool.
the character's named Heck, and I never thought about it being short for Hector.
Yeah, me either. And I have the middle name Hector, so
Your middle name is Hector?
yep.
That's appropriate.
Christian Hector Herrera.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I like
right.
Hector.
That's like legit.
Yeah, you should have gone with that.
Well, that's my dad's name, so I think I'm gonna go with Christian, my name.
My dad's name's Keith.
Please, Keith is my father. You can call me Keith.
You can call me Keith.
God, how have you not said that joke? That's one of the best ones. All right, but yeah. Any other names we got? Let's see.
Um,
I like Anderson and Sons.
I like Anderson and Sons.
and her sons.
I don't know who.
I feel like it's short of pun. Anyways, go ahead.
I don't know who Dave's Comics podcast is.
I like Dave.
Yeah, that was
was
Keith's
one of my
dad's
dad's.
suggestion. That was my favorite. It's just Dave's comic podcast. Who's Dave?
Ooh, we can call ourselves. There's the Doodling Dreams, but I like Doodle Dudes. That's kind of hard for
Doodle
me to say.
dudes. Doodle dudes. We
Watch.
haven't checked the SEO on any of these. I would love to find out that like they're taken.
You watch Pappy Land?
Pappyland?
Yeah.
No.
It was a kids show back in the '90s. The old guy, I think it was a Canadian show. He would draw things.
Here we go.
He drew
You have to
Pappy
spell
Land.
dudes like that.
Lives in Pappy Land.
We have to
But,
spell dudes like this.
Dudes. Perfect. Passive education. Not my.
What's that?
I like it.
What education?
Passive education. I was looking at some of the comments.
Yeah, they tell you never to read the comments, but
Well, I want to read the comments. I love it.
I'm just imagining, if it's deep fried comics that like it's one, it's a deep fryer here. Right.
It's us being deep fried.
Well, it's either that's actually way funnier than what I was gonna. It's just a bunch of comics in a deep fryer like this.
Thanks, I'm a writer.
Yeah, you are. That's why you get paid. So yeah, so we have to put instead of that needs to be us freaking out.
I think my mom is watching this.
Oh, hope you don't say anything bad.
Breasts.
Oh, boy.
My mom suggested doodles.
There
That's
we
a
go.
reference to Grease. Christian. Anderson. No,
Yeah,
I
why
don't
are you
know.
taking a stab at me? I've seen it.
I was.
Oh,
because Anderson,
that
like,
Grease, the one where they fly away in a car at the end.
right?
Yeah, it's a bad movie.
There's
Yeah.
a character
It's as
dude.
bad as Cats.
Wait, have you ever seen the musical?
Fight me. What?
It's not as bad as Cats.
Cats is a good musical live.
I mean, Grease has a discernible story.
Have you ever heard Laura explain Cats?
No,
No.
that sounds. Wait, I feel
Laura,
like
Laura, come back to the
you
show.
available? Can you
In the
come explain
meantime-
Cats?
Anderson. Have you ever seen the musical Grease? Not the movie, but the show.
Jewish ladies dance.
Yes. Hang on. So you can. Here you go. So you don't. You need a chair.
Laura,
Okay.
we need you on the Doodle Dudes.
This is my
show.
wife, Laura.
Who?
Here you go. We're deciding. I told them that
That he
that
calls
might
you
not say.
mother.
I did
mommy.
say that.
Calls
I
her
did say
mommy.
mommy.
Did you call me mommy?
I said that I said that Grease is as bad as Cats. We can discuss that later.
Okay.
I
was about to say,
but
I
I also
is-
said
I
that
disagree.
Remember that time that I was working and we listened to the whole Cat soundtrack together and you really almost died.
yeah.
You wouldn't do that if we listened to the whole Grease soundtrack.
I think I might.
No, you wouldn't.
Grease is
Anyways,
bad.
can you explain? You can explain the setup, but Cats to people, the musical Cats.
You guys, the musical Cats.
You can lean in a little
What a trip. Okay, so my friend one time was in line at the TKTS booth and
What is that?
they were in line
bit. It's where you
behind-
get cheap tickets as a student,
Oh, okay.
right?
It's
Or is
where
it-
you
it's
get
like
tickets.
last minute
Yeah,
tickets?
it's like the half tickets. Yeah. I was trying to think. I mean, I think it's on Times Square. I'm thinking of like the West End equivalent, which is in Leicester Square. I don't know why I'm thinking of the British equivalent than the American one. Anyways, so they were in line to get tickets to a Broadway show. And they were in line behind these two old, seemingly Jewish ladies. And the one
It
lady
made him
turns to
seem
them.
Jewish.
The way they looked, the way they talked, their accents.
You'll hear it in the description. It's
So
really
the
great.
one lady turns to the other and she goes, "Oh, cats, what's that?" And the other woman goes, "Oh, it's this show by Andrew Lloyd Webber. All these cats are dancing around, and then this one is really sad. So they dance around to cheer her up, and then she dies and goes to heaven in a spaceship."
That's not inaccurate.
Yeah.
It's 100% accurate, including the "beam me up, Scotty" moment at the end.
So that's Cats in
Yeah.
summary.
It is worse than Grease. That's not a question.
Okay.
What was the consensus in here? Do you think Grease is worse?
Yeah, I do.
What a shame. Grease
Well-
has a plot.
Well, specifically the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember
The
the
movie Grease is worse than the movie Cats?
No, the movie Grease is worse than
Is
the
worse
play
than-
Cats.
I feel like
it's a
that's a
musical,
false
not a play.
equivalent to
It's
this.
fine.
All right, you're gone.
My
Get out of here.
opinions are loud.
Wow.
There you go. All right, we gotta wrap this up.
It was a controversial show.
We covered all the important things.
Yeah, I think that there's nothing else to talk about. Okay. We can still workshop it, but my vote's deep fried comics unless anyone has a dissenting point of view.
Well,
But
Dissenting
Iggy-
about what?
why are you using big words to make yourself sound smart? It's very unbecoming.
Who said what?
He said dissenting.
dissenting,
I don't
yeah.
like that word.
Any dissenters?
Well, let's descend down to Christian's level
Thank you.
and
I
talk
appreciate it.
this.
Is Keith's stream all right? It paused on my Discord. I wasn't sure.
That's still fine on
Oh, there
mine.
he is. Okay, never mind.
He's still good on YouTube.
Worst. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it. I will say, oh my god, everyone in the chat is roasting me for saying I like Cats better than Grease.
I mean,
The show is much different than the movie. I will, yes, like
it's a
the
weird
show
take.
seems interesting and the dance numbers and all that stuff. Like it's a different animal.
I feel like my take is I don't like Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't like his
Oh, Keith
Somehow
doesn't like
guy.
Andrew Lloyd Webber. Oh, she said good job. She said
Yeah,
good choice.
It's I don't like it. I haven't heard anything about that.
Hilarious. All right, yeah, we should discuss this. We'll discuss it over the group chat. But thank you,
Okay.
Iki, for the suggestion of deep fried comics. I think that one's
Pretty
the best
legendary.
out of them so far. Well, yeah, that's all I got. Do you guys have any parting words of wisdom before we end the stream?
I guess just our plan to try to do this monthly.
Mhm.
So we'll do it again sometime in December.
Yeah.
We'll try to get on some sort of regular schedule or something, just so that it's easier. But definitely once a month. So this is our November stream. We were trying to do it the first weekend in November, but we had technical issues and couldn't figure it out. So now it's
I
more
wish
like
we had gotten
halfway.
more
So
done. I wish
it
we'd
might be
gotten-
like early December. What was that, Keith?
I just wish we'd gotten to more questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Okay, so yeah. So next time we'll get more questions from Christian.
yeah.
I did like-
If you guys have any suggestions too, please send them our way. We're gonna keep working at it. We're gonna make this look a little prettier too. I was messing around with it while we were doing the stream. But yeah,
Cool.
that's
I
all I
just-
got.
To real quick, just put that in the weird tally, Anderson, of like weird parallels in our lives that we're reading the same book at the same time.
I know, right? I can't believe that you brought that up.
All
was
the
like-
books.
What?
That's okay. Just
Okay.
put that.
All right.
Put that jelly bean in the jar.
Well-
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out what the next book those two are gonna be reading, and I'm gonna join in because I feel a little left out. But otherwise, hey, this was fun. Thank you everyone for joining. Yeah.
Wizard.
What was that?
I said it'll probably be the Wizard, which is the sequel to the Knight.
Yes, it probably will be.
I would
It's a
love
two-
that.
That's the sequel to the night.
It's like one book, but it's split into two. From what I understand.
Glad I have more to read. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining, and smooches.